What can be said about Mario Kart? Well, it's a popular game series that ruins friendships. It's a really fun series. My personal favorite would have to be the third game. I love the new mini-games, the story mode was pretty interesting, and the game added a lot of improvements to the already pretty sweet Mario Party formula. Also, Waluigi Island is the best board ever. So, for Mario Party's long-awaited portable experience, let's remove the multiplayer aspect and just make the game a single-player collection of fetch quests with some bland minigames. Yeah, welcome to Party World. It's a place where people party, I guess. The party is going alright until Bowser comes in, wrecks the place, and runs off. Fucking asshole. Seeing as you are the only person who seems to give a fuck, you are tasked with retrieving all of the minigames and gadgets that Bowser scattered. But before you can go help people, you must make a passport. I mean, you can't just walk in the city and be like, hey, we're here to save you! No. You need some proper identification first. So, let's do this! Yeah. Perfect. Am I still a secret? Shh. Don't tell anyone. So now that we have our passport, it's time to kick Bowser's ass and save the world. The pipes are blocked until you help more people. Well, fuck. So yeah, this is the entirety of the game. Just driving around town, helping people with whatever random thing they need. A bunch of fetch quests, basically. I mean, most of them are pretty easy to figure out, and some of them are actually kind of interesting. I mean, the Shroom Block quests and Battle Tower come to mind. And the only really bullshit quests are the luck-based ones, like the dice game or the gambling games. Speaking of games, that was a pretty big part of Mario Party, wasn't it? You know, every 3 turns you get to play a minigame and the winner got coins. Well, in this game, there's no stars and no coins. For being a minigame, you get free mushrooms. There are some exceptions, but this is the case for most of the game. If you run out of mushrooms, you get a game over. So, if you lose the first minigame you play, you can get a game over without accomplishing anything. Bowser Jr. and the Dice Dude from Mario Party 3, Tumble, was it? They can give you mushrooms if you play a minigame with them, and this is pretty much the only way to get extra mushrooms. And is probably necessary if you actually want to do more than one side quest at a frickin' run. This system is honestly really frickin' dumb. It really should have given you more mushrooms from the start, so you couldn't lose on the second turn. I mean, it probably won't happen often since the games are pretty easy, even if you screw up a lot. But there's a few exceptions in particular that I had a lot of trouble with. Stompbot XL, Flipping Out, and Sled Slide come to mind. Also, the controls in Go Go Pogo and Melon Foley gave me a lot of trouble until I figured them out as well. I guess another problem I have with minigames is that there aren't really many of them. There's 30 normal, 8 dual, 6 Bowser, and 6 gambling minigames. Compared to the 71 in Mario Party 3, it's pretty disappointing, but, I mean, quality over quantity, right? Well, the minigames themselves are pretty lame as well. I mean, most of these barely pass as iPhone game. In fact, some of them really remind me of iPhone games. Rubber Bumper Balls, Picture and Perfect, hell, pretty much any minigame from the first 3 Mario Party games. Yeah, those fun games aren't around anymore. Now most of the minigames are single player only. And hell, even the dual games aren't as fun. Dude, Foul Play? That shit was awesome! This game, nothing even close. These duel games are actually really disappointing because your challenger is usually someone pretty badass, like Duel Tower Crew or Chain Chomp or whatever. And in the game, you face off against one of the playable characters. And even the Bowser games, you just face a shit ton of Kid Bowsers or whatever the hell they're calling them nowadays. You never actually fight Bowser. And the minigames you play against Kid Bowsers, again, feel like iPhone games. I mean, okay, I know it isn't fair to compare a GBA game to an N64 game, but still. Minigames in the N64 Mario Party games were awesome! These are nowhere near as fun or varied. Just one big disappointment, I guess. And the graphics in this game are... well, there's a reason I put the graphics filter on. It doesn't look great on the bigger screen. Better on a GBA, of course. But the thing I really don't like is the art style. I'm not really sure how to describe it. Generic, maybe? It's not bad, really. I mean, it's colorful, but it's not really great either. I mean, when you look at something like Mario and Luigi, oh, it's on the same console, right? Mario and Luigi's art style is so much better. It's memorable. There's so many people doing Mario and Luigi style everything, pretty much. Compared to that, this is honestly bland. Most of the music in this game is reused from Mario Party 3 and 4, and while the music in those games was pretty good, listening to those same songs on GBA hardware, yeah, the quality isn't really great. I mean, it's not as bad as, let's say, Sonic Genesis, but that's not really saying much now, is it? I mean, the overall world theme and the other original music is kind of catchy. Still doesn't compare to the map themes in the N64 Mario parties. There's not much to comment in terms of controls. They're simple enough, and the game has a screen telling you what the controls are before each minigame. I do miss the thing from Mario Party 2, where you could try the controls out on the actual screen, but whatever. But I still had trouble with some of the controls because it doesn't specify hold this button or tap this button. It's just an icon on the button itself. You'd think this wouldn't really be a problem, but it actually can be. Melon Foley, hello? And outside of that, the controls work decently. I guess there isn't really much to screw up here. This isn't a platformer. The overall world map is a bit too spaced out for my liking. There are a few quests that require you to go across the entire map, which is absolutely ridiculous. Especially later in the game when Bowser Jr. starts interrupting you every 20 spaces and randomly warping you or blocking your path. At least the map is varied, even if the variation is your typical Mario style. Grass, desert, beach, snow, ghost worlds. No lava world though. So, once you've gotten past every fetch quest, collected all of the minigames and gadgets, it's on to the Bowser stages. They unlock over the course of the game after you complete certain amounts of side quests, but I really just did them at the end of the game. So yeah, let's go kick Bowser's ass! I actually really like Bowser in this game. He's like the Bowser in the Paper Mario and Mario and Luigi games. He's a really funny villain, and I kinda wish he was more like this in the Mario platformers. And sadly, you don't really face Bowser in this game, unless you count playing football against him as facing, you know. And you find a bunch of Kid Bowsers in the Bowser minigames. They're pretty fun, actually. Still remind me of iPhone games, but they're probably the most fun minigames yet. So eventually you finish the 8 Bowser pipes, get the last 9 gadgets. Yes, 9. And the last challenge. Bowser, you are going down. Or not. Yep, it's another Kid Bowser minigame. For fuck's sake. At least the minigame is fun, but come on. Really? So you beat Bowser minigames, get all the gadgets, and save the world! Yay. Remember all the minigames and gadgets we've been collecting over the course of the game? You can use them now! They're basically little time wasters, and I guess some of them are pretty cool. I like the mouth one. I see you in your sleep, children. Yeah, these gadget things are kind of sweet. So, in the end, this game is kind of hard to... It's a horrible Mario Party game, but not a bad game by itself. The fetch quests were fun enough. The missions were interesting, most of them anyway, but there are still plenty of things wrong with this game. You know what? Screw the ratings. Just play the game. Don't expect it to be anything like the console Mario Party games. Also, there's multiplayer. Too bad I don't have any friends to try the multiplayer with.